Welcome to your de-stress relaxing morning flow. Super excited. We're going to stretch it out. We're going to wake up. We're going to get into our back, neck, shoulders, hips, and hamstrings. So I'm really excited for today. All you'll need is something comfy that you can move in and a mat, or maybe a towel or someplace soft for you to lay on in our practice. So let's get started. We're going to start in a child's pose. Move back to your mat and find a spot with your knees out wide, toes to touch, hips back on your heels, reaching your arms out in front of you. So take a deep breath into your belly here, pressing your hips towards your heels. Exhaling belly to mat. And release your forehead to the ground if that feels comfortable for you. Take another deep breath into your belly. Exhaling out your mouth. Our focus today is to de-stress. So we're going to focus a lot on our breath. So make sure you inhale into your belly, signaling to your nervous system that it's time to relax. Exhaling out your mouth, helping you ground. We're going to start to get into our hips a little bit here, so you can sway your hip over towards the right. Exhale, sway your hip over towards the left. Just getting into our hip flexors, our hip joints a little bit here, waking them up. If it's more comfortable, you can have your elbows down on the mat like I'm doing here for a little more support, rather than having them float. I'll start to get into a little bit of a wider movement here. So you can swivel your hips over towards the right or counterclockwise. Exhale, press your hips back towards the left. Maybe press up onto your palms, moving your arms out and rise onto your knees. Exhale, press your hips back. Nice. Let's do one more this direction. Exhale, press back. Inhale, sweep around clockwise. Exhale, melt back. Two more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, press back. Last one here. Inhale, rotate forwards. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up onto your hands and knees, tucking your hands right underneath your shoulders, hips right on top of your knees, finding tabletop. And take a big breath in, dip your belly down. Cow pose. Exhale, press into all 10 fingers, round into your upper back. Stay here. See if you can shrug your shoulder blades away from your ears. So we're creating a little bit of friction here, a little bit of tension just to wake up our body. Then inhale, dip your belly down, releasing that hold. Exhale, press through your hands, activating your body, squeeze your core. Inhale to release. Nice. Come back to a neutral spine, so flat back here, avoiding a sway like I'm demonstrating right now. We're just going to keep a flat spine. Take a big breath in, extend your right arm out in front of you. Exhale, reach it behind, press it onto your tailbone. Shrug your shoulder blade away and open up for a little bit of a twist. Again, it's not about really getting into a perfect pose here, looking Instagram friendly or impressively. It's more about feeling into your body. So you might not twist as open as I am here, and that's okay. Exhale, release right hand back to mat. Left side here, inhale, extend your left arm out, big reach. Exhale, reach behind, place it on your tailbone, slight twist. So just getting into our shoulders, our upper back, our neck a little bit here. Big breath into your belly. Exhale, release it back down. Nice. Press your toes into your mat, tucking them underneath. Exhale, press into the balls of your feet. Shoot your hips up to the sky. So we're finding a deep V bend. You can keep your knees bent here for a little bit more support in your low back. If you feel tension there today. You can also straighten your legs if you want to release some tension in your calves, maybe bending one knee at a time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Forward fold here. You can tuck your wrists inside your elbows, finding a nice forward bend, bending your knees generously to support your hamstrings. Exhale, flop your head and neck. Looking behind you, take a deep breath into your belly. Exhale, flop it out. So you might bob and wave here, just releasing your low back. Now inhale, release your hands to your shins, finding a flat back here. Straighten your hamstrings if that feels okay. Take a big breath in, gazing at the ground. Exhale, flop it out, release, bending your knees. Nice, a little bit of a relaxed hamstring stretch here. So inhale, halfway lift, straightening your legs, pressing your hips back. Exhale, flop it out, let it go. Now inhale, shift your weight to your heels, bend your knees deeply, ragdoll your spine. So stacking your spine up, almost like you're a little zombie or robot waking up here. Inhale, shrug your shoulder blades down, float your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Nice. Let's go ahead and shake it out. This is really great for your nervous system. Again, stress relief is our goal today. So you can start to twist side to side, flopping your arms, letting them wrap around you gently. Breathing deep. Exhaling out your mouth. Slight twist of your hips here. Take a big breath in, come to stillness. Float your hands up to the sky. Exhale, hips press back, forward fold, hands to mat. Inhale again, halfway lift again, shrugging your shoulder blades away. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back for plank pose. I'm not gonna be here super long, but if you need to, you can lower your knees right away. Take a big breath in. Exhale, press your hips up and back for downward facing dog. So again, this is that V shape, upside down V or a triangle here. Take a deep breath in. See if you can hug your elbows towards each other, shrug your shoulder blades away. Now exhale, lower your knees to your mat. Nice, we're gonna get into our hips and our legs and our hamstrings, which I know was a request. So shrug your shoulder blades down your back, tent your palms here. This is a little trick, especially if you're new to yoga. It can be challenging to get your feet up towards your hands. So if you tent your palms, meaning pressing into your fingertips, squeeze your belly tight, gives you a little bit of extra space. You can even lift up your hand as you step your foot forwards. So we're finding a kneeling lunge. You can release your back toes down, pressing into the top of your foot. Press into your right heel as you rise up. Now, if you need support, that's okay. Keep your hands on top of your thigh. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, this is your time and practice. It's really just about feeling good in your body. So take a deep breath in. Float your chest up to the sky. Imagine you have a string pulling your chest all the way up. Exhale, reach your left arm up if it's not already. Exhale, release your right hand down. Inhale, tip back. So we're doing a little bit of a twist here. If you want more, you can release your left hand down to the outside of your right leg, reaching your right arm back. A little thoracic spine or upper back rotation here. Big breath in. Try and keep your hips forwards. So avoiding twisting in your hips, just protect your hip flexors. Exhale, release both hands down to your mat. Hamstring stretch here, inch your toes up towards the top of your mat. Doesn't have to go all the way, just maybe a couple inches or so. So when you press your hips back, your hip is in line with your knee. So oftentimes when people do this stretch, you might see on YouTube or something like that, they're pressed all the way back. It puts a lot of stress on your back knee. So the key here is actually to lean forward and then press back. So you get a nice stretch all down the back of your leg, your hamstring here. If this is too intense, keep a gentle bend in your extended leg. Again, tenting your palms here, giving yourself some more support. If you do this practice again, you can also find a water bottle or a block of some kind to rest your hands on for more support. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release your foot back down. Nice, press your hands into your mat. Find tabletop again and let's wiggle it out. So gaze over your right shoulder, take a big breath. Exhale, wag your tail in the opposite direction. Inhale, come back to center. Let's move our left foot up. So you can tent your palms again if that was helpful for you last time. Step your left foot all the way up and through. So we're looking for a 90-degree angle with our knee and our ankle and our top of leg here, our thigh. Hands can rest on top of your thigh. Again, keeping your hips like headlights facing forwards. Inhale, maybe press your right arm up to the sky, going for that twist. Exhale, maybe reach your left arm back. If you want a little bit more, right hand comes to the outside of your left leg. Breathe into your belly here. Exhale out your mouth. If you want more of a hip flexor stretch, you just lean slightly forward into your left foot. Exhale, release your hands back to your mat. Nice. Let's go into that hamstring stretch here. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, inch your left toes towards the top of your mat. Exhale, flex your foot towards your face. Again, you can have a nice bend here to support your leg if your hamstrings are really tight today. You can also tent your palms or rise up, putting more pressure into your right standing leg here to support you if the mat feels too far away. Big breath into your belly. If you want to go deeper, you can exhale, leaning your chest out towards your foot. Make sure to not lock your knee, taking a big breath in. Exhale, releasing deeper. Nice, take one more big breath here. Exhale, slowly bring your left foot back underneath your knee. Exhale, place your hands down, finding your hands and knees again. Let's do one of those little wag our tail twists. So inhale, looking over your left shoulder. Exhale, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, dip your belly down. Exhale, come back to hands and knees, flat neutral spine. Tuck your toes underneath, press your hips back for downward facing dog. So now that we're a little bit more warmed up, maybe you want to bend one knee at a time, getting into the backs of your legs more, your calves. Take a big breath here. Exhale, find your plank pose. So again, optional to skip this, but if you want to wake up your core this morning, you can find plank pose, just squeezing your belly button tight for 3, 2, 1. Belly to mat, slowly lower all the way down. Again, you can lower your knees first if you need to. Cobra Pose, getting back into our shoulders here. So shrug your shoulder blades down your back, almost like you're peeling something off of a piece of paper, like a stamp. Lift your head up, keeping your gaze out in front of you. Exhale, lower back down, forehead to mat. Let's extend this a little bit further. You can stay with that version if that felt good, or you can walk your hands out up in line with your shoulders or a little bit past them, tenting your palms, lifting your elbows up like tiny mountains. Exhale, shrug your shoulder blades down your back, lift your heart. Exhale, melt down to your mat. One more of those. Inhale, shrug your shoulder blades down, lift your heart. Exhale, release. Nice little neck stretch here. You can walk your hands in closer to your shoulders. Show your shoulder blades down, but keep your neck, your chin close to your neck here. So what this does is gets all down the back of your neck. If it feels too intense, you can skip it laying on your mat. Exhale, everybody release. Press your hands into your mat all the way back to child's pose. This time bring your knees together instead of out wide, zipping your legs up, arms out in front of you. This is a great release for the low back. You can actually press your hands into your mat and actively press your hips into your heels. Tuck your chin all the way up into your chest. Deep breath in. Exhale out your mouth. Release that tension. Sweep your arms behind you, pressing the tops of them into your mat. You can tuck your toes if you want more, or you can keep your feet flat. Tuck your chin all the way into your chest, resting your top of head in the ground. Upper back stretch here, press into your arms as you round in the upper part of your back. So kind of like a pose we did earlier, but we're really focusing in on our shoulder blades. Deep breath in, exhale, melt to let it go. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, find a seat, float your hands to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Nice, we're gonna flip onto our backs. Ending on our back here today. We'll do a little bit of a hip opener as requested, and then we'll do a mini meditation. So roll all the way onto your back. Now, a classic hip opener that you often see is figure 4. I want to teach you a different one today that's maybe a little bit more unusual, but really gets into your outer hips. So stack your legs like you might be crossing your legs in a seat. Yeah, so knees are flush with each other. Your shins are kind of flopping out. Now reach your hands and see if you can catch your ankles or your shins. If you're really tight here, your seat might come all the way off the mat. In that case, just catch right below your knee, not on your knee joint, but just right below your knee. Taking a deep breath here, separate your shins in opposite directions. You're just creating a little bit of a pretzel for your legs here, flexing your feet, finding a cross of your legs. I'll rotate here so you can really see what I'm talking about. So if your feet are flexed, if you're in the full position, you're gently pulling, not intensely, because our knees are hinge joints. Just breathing into the outsides of your legs. You might feel this more in one side or the other. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, switch sides. So crossing your legs in the opposite direction, again, catching your ankles or your shins. Maybe noticing if this side is more intense, more tight, or less so. Breathe into the outside of your hip. Taking a deep breath to let it go. One more here. Exhale, release. Nice. Gonna let that stretch go. Maybe kick your legs just to get some feeling back into them. You can pat your legs down. Maybe say, thank you, body, for letting me move today. We'll end with a little bit of a happy baby. So you can flex your feet up towards the sky, catching the outsides of your feet, like I'm doing right now. Or if that doesn't feel available to you and your hips fly off the mat, just catch the outsides of the backs of your thighs or maybe your calves. So the point of this pose is actually just get your back flat. So it's a really nice spine stretch and elongator. So take a deep breath here. You might feel it in your inner thighs as well. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, let it go. You can relax your hands by your side in a goalpost or cactus shape, or maybe out to a T. Flop your knees over towards your right. Little spinal twist here. You can gaze in the opposite direction. Big inhale into your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale one more time into your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, flop your knees over towards the left. You might hear your back crack if you're like me. That's okay. Just breathe here. Maybe close your eyes. Take another deep breath into your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Now slowly bring your legs back to center. You can give yourself a big hug here if that feels good. Bringing your head up to touch your knees. Then exhale, open out, finding your final resting pose just for a few moments. Sending your legs long, you can squeeze your glutes to stretch into your hip flexors, something I really like to do. You can point your toes. Then exhale, relax, arms by your sides, if that feels comfortable. If not, you can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't closed them already. Just gonna play a couple of singing bowls here to end class. Now, if you're tempted to hop out early because you're like, oh, I don't know if I need a meditation, I'm going to challenge you. It's only a couple minutes, and this does wonders for your nervous system. So stay with us here for just 5 more minutes, taking a deep breath in. And exhale out. Bring your internal gaze to your belly. So imagining as if you could view your belly from the inside. In yogic tradition, our bellies are one of the most important parts of our ecosystem, that is our body. There's a saying that if we're not able to digest fully, we can't digest life fully. We have to have a strong fire at the center of our beings in order to transmute energy and move through life. So imagine here in your mind's eye a fire burning at the center of your belly. One of those warm, cozy, comfortable campfires. You can imagine this campfire burning, giving you warmth, giving you light. And as you continue to breathe, you can feel this fire grow stronger. You can feel its light emanating throughout your entire being. Filling up your legs, your arms, your heart, your head. Ask yourself, what would it be like? What would it be like to move through life knowing that you are full of your own warmth? That you don't need to rely on anyone else's energy, anyone else's opinions. That you're self-sufficient in your own power. Just give yourself permission to play a little bit here. Just imagine, what would that feel like? Now give yourself permission to also imagine, also visualize what it would be like if that warmth enabled you to both give freely and receive freely. Because you no longer need, you can share and receive. No judgments, no strings, no expectations. Just one light receiving and accepting another light. Plenty of seats around the campfire. allow this sensation, this idea to permeate your being. Noticing what your heartbeat would do, what your breath would feel like. What thoughts would come and what would not. What would need to be true and what is no longer. When we're stressed, our creativity and our ability to digest life is dim. But when we give ourselves permission to play, to imagine, to feel and be, we relight our inner campfire and shine it out to the world. Take one more deep breath into your belly in this space that feels comfortable. You can pancake your hands over your heart as you exhale, just taking a moment to connect. Maybe thank your body for this moment, for this movement, for this meditation. When you're ready, you can slowly roll over onto one side, acknowledging yourself for showing up, the hardest part. And open your eyes. Namaste.